Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with another process video for Wild Whisper Designs. And so I had a different project planned, and yesterday Laura Whitaker released the sketch. And I am such a huge fan that when Laura Whitaker releases a sketch, I want to play with it right now. So I scrapped that project, and you'll see it later in the month, and came back to this one. And so I grabbed the sketch, and I love the layout of having this idea of three kind of photos along the bottom and then the title centered along the top. And so I grabbed the new collection from Wild Whisper Designs, and it's called One More Chapter, and it's totally a reading and book themed kit. And I love that because I am reading all the time, tons of books. I have some friends online where we talk and compare books and give each other recommendations, and so this was perfect. And so I am using that yellow paper as my background, and it worked out perfectly because of the yellow kind of fire hydrant in the photo. And then I cut some strips of the black and white, and then the black and white that has books on it. So the one just kind of has random date stamps, and then the other one has some black and white sketched out books. And I am using those as my layers, and I'm staying kind of true to the sketch with how that looks. So I'm going to have a thin strip of the book paper and then a thicker strip of the black and white stamped paper, and then I know I want to use that little black tag. And then I am grabbing my little tiny notebook here, and you guys saw me, if you watched my video, use that, I think last week in a layout. And that is kind of one of my go-to things, is I kind of keep a few little notebooks near my scrap desk. And when I feel like I need some notebook paper or a cool texture or something, I'm just ripping pages out of that. So I'm not really using it as a notebook, I'm using it more for the paper that's inside. So I've taken my photos here and printed them in the Project Life app, and I printed them at 4x4, and then I cut them down smaller, so they're about 3x3. And so one of them, the first one on the left, is an interior view of reading this particular book. And then I have a library, kind of a library checkout card in the middle, and then I have the book cover over on the right. So I'm talking about this book called Girl Wash Your Face, which is something that I am reading and doing the discussion guide and things for right now. And so I wanted to create a layout talking about the impact this book is having on me because it is making a big impact on me. So I grabbed that diagonal washi tape, and I'm going to use that up at the top to kind of divide off where my title is going to go. And then I know I want to use some of these amazing flare badges from Wild Whisper Designs that came with this One More Chapter release when they did this particular collection for August. And so I'm going to use one over there on the right that is a stack of books, and then I'm going to use one over on the left that gives me this kind of pop of red that has that same date stamp look to it. And then I'm going to pull in these two little ephemera hearts. One of them's yellow and one of them brings in that red color. And I really like that pop of red, and these are from Brandy Kincaid and Feed Your Craft. They had a reading and book set a long time ago, and I haven't broken into it yet, so I'm going to play around with that. And I was thinking I was going to use that font for the title, and I got it on there and didn't really like how it looked. So I went ahead and grabbed these thicker phrases instead, and I'm going to use this one that says life is good. And I think that's kind of perfect, talking about, transformation and changing your life and doing some of this self-reflecting. So I like how that kind of fits with the theme of what's going on. And I am staying pretty true to that sketch because it really did, it was something where I'm flipping through Instagram and it kind of stopped me and was like, oh, this looks like me. This is a good sketch for me. And so I definitely encourage you to do that kind of as your challenge this week, is when you're flipping through Instagram, if you have a sketch or something that speaks to you, print it, save it, and use it right away. Don't let it just sit in your sketch ideas binder forever and ever. Actually get it out and use it. And so I got way too much ink on my stamp, so I'm just trying to get rid of some of that and make sure I'm getting a clear image. And then I'm going to stamp this underneath my title, and this is also from Brandy Kincaid and Feed Your Craft, and it just says love this part. And so I thought that was a cute little addition. And I am going to look through the rest of these, the puffy stickers and the stamps, to try and decide if there's anything else that I want to add onto this layout. And I'll keep doing that as I'm finishing things up. I am going to keep the embellishing fairly simple so that my paper layers really kind of stand out on this layout. So I'm looking at adding a few of these little flower puffy stickers, and they don't actually make the cut. They just weren't fitting where I wanted them to fit and look. And you can tell I did go back and do off camera my journaling. So I filled out that little library card in the middle with kind of talking about why this book is important, and that sometimes a book just kind of finds you when you need it to find you. And that's kind of how I feel about this particular book. So I did add this little puffy sticker stack of books in that blank space, and I think that that is just perfect right there in the middle. And then I also added that little puffy sticker that says I was here, and just kind of ruffled up the edge of my notebook. And then this little I was here gives me a little bit of trouble. So I know that I want it to be on this page, but I can't decide exactly where I want it to go. So it's going to end up staying in that little space. But I do go back and grab one of these little red check marks, and I feel like that kind of made it work a little bit better for me, just because I did want to keep the embellishing pretty simple. And so that's going to do it. So I encourage you this week to play with the new One More Chapter reading and book themed collection from Wild Whisper Designs, which is absolutely gorgeous. I am loving it because I have so many book things and stories I want to tell. And then I also encourage you, when you are flipping through Instagram or Facebook, to, if there's a sketch that speaks to you, save it and use it right away. And I'll see you soon. Bye.